everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. The time for talk is over as we are just mere moments away from the Super Bowl. Two teams now have a chance to prove they are the best. It's the Bills going up against the Raiders. So the time has come. Let's send you out to the stadium and join the two men that will have the Super Bowl call. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the Buffalo Bills and the Oakland Raiders. I'm Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis, beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl, all the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the buildup, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
We begin the next half-century of Super Bowls to a strobe of flashes. Super Bowl 51 from Houston is underway. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention. They come up in an offset eye.
Let's go!
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. For McCoy this year, 5th time in his 8-year career that he's topped the 1,000-yard mark. Charles, first time he's done it with the Bills, though, finished with 1267.
And he's the type of player that you can build around. And what I mean by that is, as a runner, as a pass catcher, he does a little bit of everything, and he opens up the offense for everyone else around him, the complementary players. But he's a guy, heavy-duty ball carrier, and also get him in space, and he can break people down.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, and that's caught inside the 30. A pickup there of 37. And it's first down, Buffalo. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Check.
Now a play fake here on first down. This will be caught at about the 3. A good pickup there, 20 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Here we go.
They'll try and run it with McCoy. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was impressive by the defense. They just got hit for a big pass play, and instead of rushing out and getting back deep to cover, they played their techniques, saw the run develop, and ran to it and made the play.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The big fella. He's at the 50, the 40, 30. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So the turnover forced and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit.
All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Carr to throw on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, they certainly didn't waste any time throwing some deep passes here. But the defense, it wasn't unexpected. They told their secondary, be ready. You're going to be tested all night by this team.
And his kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board. But the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. On the return, here's Marcus Murphy. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, they'll put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
Short-term memory.
and move on to the next series.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. So 1 quarter down here in Super Bowl 51. 3-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Here we go now.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go now.
On second down, it's McCoy. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Super Bowl 51 after this. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got it at the 15. A big gain there for the Bills. 39 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Red zone opportunity. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning to an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Again, it's McCoy. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bills have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. All you want at the Super Bowl is a highly competitive game, and that's what we have. Both teams have to feel like they're in good shape, and that should lead to a wild finish down the stretch. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Bills with the ball midway through the second. Offensive line won't be able to hold up here. This one ends up as a loss of 11. Same drive, McCoy is going to look for space, and finally on play 12 they score, which takes the lead to 3. That'll do it for our final halftime show of the year. One half remains in this Super Bowl. To bring it to you, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, man.
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. He's got time in the pocket. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. A pretty good coverage there. And both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
So the defense forces a 3 and out, but they got some help along the way. They threw it on 1st down, and when they were unsuccessful, it became 2nd and long. Didn't get it again on another pass. Went 3rd and long, and they almost had to put it in the air. They may want to rethink some strategy going forward.
On the return, it's Hyde. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
They'll run it with McCoy. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. And they'll run it with McCoy.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
They come up in an offset eye. Ivory. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Another carry tonight for McCoy. He's been the workhorse. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
2nd down following the run. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
And now the field goal team on for Buffalo. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So it's only 3 points on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And even though that stretches out the lead, Charles, I think you'd have to consider this a win for the defense, no?
Couldn't agree more, Brandon. That offense got themselves in prime position to really open up this ball game, but the drive stalled out. And yeah, 3 points is very easy to get back in today's NFL.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Bills defense, they make their way back out there. They got the stop last time that resulted in a punt, and then it resulted in 3 for their offense.
And this is one time where the defense won't get credit for creating points, but that's exactly what they did. All right, forced them into a punt, turned it over to their offense, and guess what? Points went on the board.
Points went on the board, 3 of them. Now they'll be looking for another stop. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Fake the handoff. Now Carr. He's got time. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. From the gun, it's Carr. Surveying the field, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Hyde. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
This give is to McCoy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
All the elements of what you want out of a play came together on that one. A really nice run, took care of the football, and even more importantly, taking the clock under 4 minutes now. At this stage of the game, how do you bleed out the clock, take care of the ball, and make sure the other team doesn't have a chance to come back on you? You're looking at your sheet, how many timeouts are left, how many runs do we need to close it out? That's what the coach is looking at right now. Situational football, trying to gain a victory.
Now a 20th carry here for McCoy. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
2 minutes to go in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They come out here in the eye. They give to McCoy. And he's got some space here. And he's brought down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And able to push it. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Let's go.
McCoy. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Here we go. Detroit.
Here's McCoy. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bills will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On first down, Carr. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
For the defensive guys, that's wrong on just about every level. You did so many things right. Knock the ball free. You're excited you're going to get the ball. And then the offense gets it back.
And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And a great spot to start this drive from here. This is McCoy. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Being chased out left. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Now McCoy. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit. and hold it until the evening, it's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
On first down, this is Ivory. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And these Bills make the 90s seem like a distant memory. Buffalo is the Super Bowl champion. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.